I thought I was underprepared.
No, this was definitely a hard subject to research.
It was hard. It was hard.
I resorted to a Yo Mojo YouTube video for my top 10.
Okay, I didn't go that bad.
I never even tried Google.
Wait, what?
Please tell me you went to the library.
Nah, my first and last resort was YouTube.
Word.
It's like,
My first and last resort. Yeah, so I started at the Mojo video and ended at the Mojo video.
yeah, I got 10 people.
It was a ride.
Prepared.
Hipsters. This week, we're going to be talking about white collar crime. We may or may not make it a top 10 episode. We're talking with Antoine, Jeremy, Tay, and Zach.
I'm Antoine.
I'm Tay.
I'm Zach.
That's Jeremy. He doesn't like to tell you guys who he is.
That's actually announcer guy. We've established that before.
It's its own separate entity.
Personality.
That's
So then you have to say, I'm Jeremy then. You have to step in line or you have to be announced. The announcer guy, if he's a different person, then after he announces, you have to say, I'm Jeremy.
The announcer guy got to be lit, man. You got to be like, it's Antoine.
and welcome, Antoine.
Thank you.
To Not Your Average Hipster.
So I'm getting the impression like sometime like 5 years down the line, someone's just going to get the fucking job just to be announcer man.
No. Announcer guy's always just going to be me. It's just going to be my alternate ego. That's Crash Boomston is announcer guy.
Okay. All right.
He's the one who owns everything, actually.
I got to give me an alter ego.
Yo, alter egos are cool. You know, like you get to blame like shit on them sometimes. That wasn't me. That was Crash. What are you talking about?
The dangerous.
It's real interesting when like some people only know you through the internet and your alter ego, and then they just call you your alter ego name. Like I got a roommate that be doing that. Should be calling me Crash.
I mean, when it's the only fucking name you give.
I'm like, I'm your landlord, girl. You don't even.
I'm about to say, you're such a socialist. Have a roommate. You're a funny motherfucker. Oh, my landlord don't talk about me like that. Oh, fuck him up.
What do you mean?
My landlord's like, yeah, my buddy over there. Like, bitch, we ain't buddies.
It's a strictly
Hey,
business.
Antoine, when I came back for the rent, I was going to get some cereal as well. You're out of milk. What's up with that?
Motherfucker. We ain't buddies if you got to give me a 24-hour notice before you come knock on my door.
Yeah.
I will say, though, like a lot of fucking landlords are like being shady as shit with the whole stimulus checks and everything. They're like tracking their like.
I mean, they're not being shady.
Actually
man.
getting it.
Just think about this, right? So here you are, Mr. Landlord, and we're just gonna take this one derail.
Mr. Landlord.
Right? So here's Mr. Landlord, right? And Mr. Landlord been working real hard to buy him 7 properties in a low-income neighborhood.
Here Antoine is defending the bourgeoisie.
He's not. You're not gonna be making that much. He's probably not making that much. Probably not. He's not what part of the 1%.
That also implies he knows he's not going to make that much.
This landlord has 6 properties or something like that, right? He's just a regular small business entrepreneur. So don't try to say I'm defending the bourgeoisie, right? And then, so this guy, right, how he feeds his family and makes all of his money is off of the properties that he's invested into, right? So then you got the government out here like, yeah, no rent for 3 months, y'all. And then that's not a real law yet, right? That's just Mr. President talking about we gonna suspend some shit, or they read some shit on Facebook.
No, though there are actually laws going in place in certain states that you can't, evict somebody because they're not paying their rent.
That's certain states, though.
Like I said, certain states.
That's not a federal thing, and
No,
it's like
it's not.
It's extremely based on where you're locally at.
Yes.
Like in Cleveland, you can't be fucking evicted right now, but in Lakewood, you could.
But
You actually can't be sued
also,
for eviction or anything.
also, you cannot be evicted, right? But you're expected to pay all that money
say you can't
at the end of the 3 months, right?
Yeah, that's the same thing mortgage companies are doing to us homeowners.
No, that's what I'm saying, right? But that doesn't change the fact that like the landlord knows everybody's getting some money, right? And you're supposed to use this money to live, and he just wants to feed his family too. So like him tracking your stimulants, it's a little fucked up. But he's just trying to make like, am I about to get paid?
Your landlord shouldn't know you got paid before you did, is all I'm saying.
Well, you should be out in the computer at the same time as your landlord. landlord, trying to know if you're getting paid or not.
All right, so like the way I can see this from both points of view, right? I can see it as the like small time landlord guy who fucking cobbled together 2-3 units.
I mean, but that's probably where the story is generating from.
No. The story is generating from big apartment complex people fucking with their multi-million-dollar fucking business that's based in fucking apartment buildings.
Shitty apartments.
Yeah, shitty apartments. They're the ones who are doing that
Shitty
kind of shit.
apartments,
They're
LLC.
hiring people to literally track down the information on all of their tenants. So they're paying somebody to fucking do this.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah, it's not like you have like a,
It's not like
a
mom and
duplex
pop
or something,
landlord.
and the guy knocks on your door. It's like, hey, I know you probably got the money. No, it's basically you getting an email from, your landlord saying you need to pay me right now.
And your landlord isn't even a person. It's an entity like Oakwood Management.
Yeah.
Because people are getting like
Briar
messages like,
Patch Homes.
I know you got
it's
paid.
sending you a
Give
fucking
me the money
email.
now so I can just close out my April books. It's not anything like, hey, I'm strapped for cash too. It's just, I just want you to pay your bill. Even though, depending on where you are, you may not have to.
To be real, the law should step in and be like, mortgages suspended for now, not paused until 3 months from now when you got to pay everything that you missed out on. No, that's bullshit. Like that.
Well, I seen something that made more sense to me was like take all these and add them to the end of like your loan or your lease.
Yeah, but
I mean that's gonna help if you just don't have to pay it all back. You know what I'm saying? Then
you have to pay it all back eventually.
I mean,
In some
if you
way or
don't have
another.
to pay it all back in one fucking month at the end of the fucking whenever they end the suspension, they're not at your fucking neck for 4 months of rent or 4 months of your mortgage. It's better to just throw it on the end of the loan because you can't just fuck everybody.
Yeah, that would
fuck the economy.
Yeah, that would
if you're just
start
like stop
I mean, the
everything.
economy's
But if you
fucked
move
right
it,
now.
if you move it to the end, it will give us a chance to like rebuild the economy at least.
Well, like, okay, so my whole thing is this, right? If the economy cannot handle a couple months of us just pausing everything, the economy deserves to be broken.
Agreed.
Fuck that
You don't
economy.
you don't want the economy to be broken. You personally don't want the economy to be broken. I don't give a fuck what you say right
that
now.
economy.
You're talking shit.
I'm not talking shit.
They
Okay,
shut
hold
down. They
on.
shut down all the places to feed us because the economy's done.
They
We're fucked.
close restaurants. You can still make a meal by going to a grocery store. A lot of the things missing from grocery stores are like milk, eggs, and meat, but you can still go and get like rice and shit.
No, he's
canned
talking about if
beans.
there's like a total economical collapse.
like an apocalyptic
okay.
type situation.
All right,
And you know
I can
what?
see that a little bit, but
You're right. I don't look forward to that happening. I don't actively want that to happen. But if the system is so poorly designed that it gets broken because, we take care of people for a couple months, then the system should be changed. Period.
All I'm saying is you could just throw it all to the end of the thing because you already made all these commitments anyways. So if you just throw it on the end of the thing, you're just upholding what the fuck you committed to anyways. So what is the difference?
It should be extended, is what I'm saying. Like, your loan should be extended. Like, for however
Extended,
long.
right. And you got to pay it off at the end. Like it's just added on to the end and it extends your loan.
Okay, all right.
So you want to extend the whole loan?
Yes, I want to extend.
Instead of just adding 3 months that you didn't pay onto the end of the loan?
Yes,
it's basically 3 months added towards the end.
yes.
that you can still
I get
have time
3 more
for.
months of loan time, right? I still get 3 more months of being on loan that I don't have to come up with this lump sum at the end.
Agreements
That's
are
what I
still
just
being
said.
met. No one's trying to cheat
Add
anybody.
on to the end of the thing each month. So you add
Okay.
3 months on.
Okay,
That's what I've been saying the whole
Me and
time.
you have been miscommunicating then.
No, you're
Because-
fine because I understood what you were talking about.
I thought you were
we thought
talking
you were
about
saying like add like the price of what you missed,
like
on
actual
at the end.
forbearance is what it is. Like that.
No, I'm
that's
talking
what
about
forbearance
just putting
is.
it on the end of the loan.
Oh yeah, no, I can completely.
So like
agree
take
with
those
No,
3
that's
months and
fine.
add those 3 months to the end of the loan.
So like, are you saying like you don't have to pay all those 3 months at the same time?
at the same time, you
Those-
just add 3 months of payments.
It's like thinking like if you have a 2-year lease and during this period of time, let's say
It lasts for 4 months, right?
Yeah.
So you have a
technically-
2-year 4-month lease now, right? That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
yeah, you're just adding a little on the end.
Right.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm completely on board with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
I'm completely on board with that. That's
perfectly fair.
That's a perfectly amicable solution.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But people
I
aren't
don't
gonna
know
do
why.
that.
I don't know why we're just not doing that.
Well, okay, see, what I thought you were talking about was like what actual forbearance is. Like what forbearance is that like I've already done it with my car for the last month, was that like I now have to pay that payment that I would have paid last month at the end of the at the end of the term all at once. Like I got to pay like 5 payments at one time now type shit instead of just the one.
Damn.
It's like saying I have the money to pay this, but I want to do it this month, so you'll eventually get all of it in the end and the same allotted time. Where in reality, it's nothing like that because people don't have their jobs. They're spending most of their food on what utilities they can't, postpone, and obviously food for themselves. It's not like anybody's going out and like making ridiculous purchases. I mean, I've seen a few pictures of people on
have
Facebook
been
doing
making
it.
ridiculous purchases.
Yes, but
yeah.
that's because
Yeah.
they were given, a random $1,000+ check. which I can't say I
it's
have.
not random. It's $1,000 check to keep you alive.
To be real, if you aren't paying
But
your, here's what I have to say about this. Like, if you aren't paying your mortgage or your rent with that $1,200 check and you buy some bullshit, like I like fuck
your
you.
fault.
Like on some real shit. Like I got that shit. I paid my shit immediately. I was like, hell yeah, fucking get caught up on these bills for this month real quick. Like,
Yeah, see, like that's perfectly fine. That's also another thing. Like the whole premise for like even before like the plague really kind of came around. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep calling it the plague because pandemic just sounds like it's too soft. When a lot of people are dying,
it's not a plague. It's not
a plague.
A plague has to kill like a third of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is
if
that a personal number, or are you actually giving like an?
That's my personal number
Okay.
of like I think Black Death. That's that's your bare minimum plague right there.
That's like killing anybody. It don't matter if you're a healthy person.
Well,
This
that's
is
the
more
thing.
like
There are healthy people still dying from it. It's just a small margin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can still die from it. Your percentage is just all of our percentage at this table is really low because we're not immunocompromised. We're not above the age of 50 and whatever issues
Diabetic and shit like that.
Diabetic or anything like that. Or we don't already have like pneumonia or anything of such. But still, there are nursing homes. There was New Jersey. There was a nursing home where they had so many of their tenants died that they made a makeshift morgue. They had 14 to 17 bodies of just elderly people stuffed in there. They couldn't do anything because they really couldn't go out and reach to anybody. So, but eventually, they got caught doing it.
See, here's my thing, right? In order for it to be a plague, there has to be a guy walking through the streets with a cart, ringing a bell. And yeah, we have ambulances, but they're not just like coming through every morning, just picking up dead bodies from every street. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because we're now at a point in time where we saw what happened with the Black Plague, and we also saw with the Spanish flu and everything in between. We've learned from these, and this is why people are social distancing, as they keep putting it.
We're about to open everything back up.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's when shit's gonna get bad.
And that's the thing. Like,
Shit
I
gonna
keep
get
seeing like
bad.
the graph
It will
from
become
like
a plague at that point.
the
it is.
Spanish flu from 1918, where it's like, hey, it started going down. They opened it up. Before that, 3 to 5 million people died from that. After they opened everything back up, that number jumped
like
up to
20 million.
30 to 50 million people died from it then.
In one place?
Not one place in the world from
Okay,
this.
okay. That's still a lot.
Yes.
Still a lot of motherfuckers.
That's
dying.
still a lot of people, especially when you're going back at least 100 years.
I thought this was like a specific country. I was like, damn, they guys just wiped out.
No.
almost.
I don't think any country really had that big of a population. I'm
Okay.
sure maybe America did, but still, for anything to kill 50 million people, I don't care if it's one city, a state, a country, or a continent, that's a shit ton of people dying.
Yeah.
I mean, New York City right now, they're literally making mass graves for people because they don't have enough land to put the bodies anywhere. And not everybody's giving the okay to have their parents or their, aunt or whoever it is, cremated. A lot of religions have, issues, it's against, the faith to burn their body or to disfigure in any way after death. I mean, there's a few religions that like they prevent like autopsies to figure out what killed you, even if it was in a murder or obviously what's the fucking word I'm looking for.
Somebody did that shit on purpose.
Suspicious circumstances.
Thank you. I couldn't think of that for whatever reason. But yeah, even if it's obviously shady how you died, if it says you're not allowed to do an autopsy based on this man's faith, you can't do that.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what we got to do, though. We got to talk about Martha Stewart.
I'm totally down for that.
Because we've been talking about COVID-19 for like 20 minutes.
We've also been talking about COVID-19 for like 5 episodes at this
We
point.
cannot. Well, I mean, it's gonna be back.
had an
It's gonna
episode
be
about
back.
COVID-19.
It's gonna be back on the review because it's taken over our lives. Okay, we can't deny that, but we can't let it take over this podcast because it was trying.
It was.
You stupid bitch! You got to get the fuck out of here. Just kick that bitch out.
You know what, Corona? We've had enough of you. Be gone, Corona.
Oh yeah, did you see that?
Oh, fucking with John Oliver.
Yeah, be gone, Corona.
Yeah, I blow at you. It's
The evangelist.
yeah, it's a televangelist who's like still like fucking filming his shit, and he's like, all right, now I need you to send me money because I'm gonna blow away Corona. And he's like,
Is it a bald dude? I think I seen
No,
that.
This dude looks super creepy too.
yeah, he does.
Like I don't know who watches him to
I
like.
personally feel all evangelists kind of look a little creepy, so
No,
I think
this
it
dude,
kind of
man,
comes with it.
No, this dude looks like Father McFeely.
legitimately evil while he was telling people that he was like doing some good shit.
Yeah.
And he had 4 people around him repeating everything they said.
Yeah.
Like, be gone, Corona. They're like, be gone, Corona.
I've seen that. That's the dude I'm talking about. I just must have forgot what he looked like. I've seen that one. Though.
I have not seen that.
Yo, that shit is crazy. All right, but
I thought it was pretty funny.
That's the last
I thought he wasn't serious. I'm like, it's got to be a game.
No, that was serious.
So,
And old ladies would send them money too.
So about Martha Stewart though.
All right, so my thing with Martha Stewart, right? She gets all the cred, right? But she only did like some inside trading on like 50,000.
Not to mention, it was on a, I think it was like a heart medication
It's
drug.
like a cancer medicine.
Yeah, basically the drug failed its FDA approval, and the owner of InStock, which is what she was using for obviously buying stocks, told her and a lot of his friends and family to sell stocks before it plummeted. But I mean, that's really it. She got 5 months in jail. There's a picture of her, with her little hands outside the bars.
Didn't she not snitch on the dude?
I believe she did not snitch either. Yeah.
That makes Martha the realist.
No,
right
that's
there.
why Martha's the realest with everybody. That's why she was on like the roast of Justin Bieber and all that shit.
Oh, that was great. I'm so glad you brought
She
that up.
deserves her credit. She didn't snitch on her homies.
I mean, she didn't snitch, but I'm just saying, like,
And she served 5 months in jail for like for Martha, 50 bands ain't even nothing. Like on some real shit.
I mean, but that's why I'm like, why did you do it?
I do not even remember who Martha Stewart is.
And then they said the only reason she got caught is because like she was on TV and like had so much of the public eye on her that people were like, how the fuck she know how to sell her stocks before it went down like that? Because she bought all the stocks before the FDA, like before the approval was even in.
Oh, word.
So like when the news came back, they was like, oh fuck.
No,
that.
I thought the issue was she sold her stocks before the approval.
Right, but I'm saying she bought it like thinking like, oh, it's probably gonna approve, you know what I'm saying? But then got the word that it
Didn't approve.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still, to my knowledge, you can still buy the stocks before something gets approved. It's just if it goes down, then its value goes down.
Right,
Yes.
but if she would have sold them the day after when it went down, it wouldn't have mattered.
She just gave him the download, basically.
She just knew that it failed and had that inside information. Like,
But-
that's what you can go to jail for, which is pretty fucking dumb.
Okay, so
And she only told certain
was
people,
the
right?
guy that was in charge of InStocks like a member of the board of that fucking company?
I believe
like,
he was actually the founder.
Okay, all right, because that makes sense then. Because if not, then like how is that insider trading? That's just like speculation at that point, right?
Yeah, like that guy knew it was not going to make it. The FDA
Right, that's what I'm
approval.
saying. He told him about the approval, I think.
He told
and that's what
Martha,
did
he's
it.
told a bunch of his friends and family. So she wasn't the only one who did it. And he's the one that actually got more grief in jail time because one, he basically...
he was the one who was actually doing the
Promoting.
insider trading.
He was looking out.
No, yeah, he was doing the insider trading.
But the issue is if you're going to do that, then you might as well just tell everybody before the FDA officially says it. And then
Yeah.
it's a little different.
Well, if you told everybody, then they wouldn't have had time to
Yes.
sell their stocks.
You're absolutely right. But that's the thing. You can make the argument that he's just being helpful when it's, money going back into
I mean, it's your
everybody's
people.
You look out
it's
for
your people.
Exactly.
Like,
You look
flat
out for
out,
your
flat
boys.
out. I hope I never have a huge ass company because I'm going down for insider trading. If we going down, we ain't going down, baby. I'm gonna be like, hey, get the fuck out of here, y'all. We all know.
Honestly, I'm with Twan on this one.
Yeah, yeah,
it sounds like shit, but like
I mean, that would be fucked up on my part to like let my people
Yeah.
just lose a whole bunch of money.
hella money invested in my company.
If you had family gatherings, they'd be like, we all lost on that. You'd be like, fuck.
Like, I couldn't have told y'all, man. I got insider trading.
We all went to jail.
They'd be like, you fucking pussy. I lost your niece's college fund. All you want to care about is insider trading, motherfucker. Like, you right, cuz I could have told you.
Well, here's also the thing, though. Depending on, for these guys in this field of work, even if, you go to jail for, 5 months, if you try to get a job anywhere else, they're going to be like, nah, we don't want us to look suspicious with you on our board.
You just got to finesse a fund for that just in case you do go to jail. Just put that away. Put it in somebody else's name.
Just to get out.
Yeah.
I mean,
got my
you-
2
See,
mil.
when you're in the interview, then you got to play your cards right. You got to be like, look, man, see, so when I went in, I'd learned, you know what I'm saying? I became a better criminal.
can do this for
And
you.
we can inside trade like professionals.
Yes.
now.
But
and then
these are
you'll get
also
on
the
the
same
board
guys that go to
need
jail
you.
multiple times for doing the same thing. You can't say, I learned how to do it better when you have,
Failed every time.
exactly. Sure, it might be a pretty sweet ride leading up to that moment, but as soon as you're caught, it's just automatically back downhill.
I just want you guys to know, if I had a lot of money, I'd be rich right now.
I mean, yes, that's
Well,
kind of...
that's
Yeah,
right.
Okay, if I had a substantial amount of money, I would have went from being substantially to being rich this week.
You mean
Because
richer.
Yeah, I would have went from middle class to like rich.
How much we talking? Like a drop of what?
If I had been able to invest
10
like,
bands,
it would probably have to be like 50. If I had 50 bands to spare, I would have made so much money this week off fucking AMC.
oh, that was your shit, huh?
Well, the stocks went down for AMC.
I seen that there was the rumors about fucking them going bankrupt, and they went down like $1. Fucking bought a whole bunch of them, and fucking 2 days later, some Chinese bank was like, "Yo, them rumors about AMC going bankrupt are bullshit. We are willing to loan them however much money they need." Fucking instantly boosted their shit back up like $2. I'm like, fuck it.
I mean,
but
right,
if I had $50,000, I made
currently
money.
right now,
Yes.
the value of oil is actually below
Oh yeah,
zero.
I bought BP yesterday too.
How much?
I bought $100 worth of BP.
Okay. Back when everybody's driving, I'll talk to you then.
A lot of people are still driving right now.
Yes,
here
but-
at least.
Like
But
the
the
gas
demand
station
is
down
a
the
lot
street
lower.
there, it's less than $1 for a tank of gas.
Yeah.
Or not a
Not for a
gas.
tank.
Oil is
A gallon.
Oil is worth less than money. Like it's at a negative value right now.
oil
The
is
thing
worth
that
less than
runs
it's ever
literally
been ever.
everything is currently, it's literally worthless. It
is worthless.
It costs you money to have it.
Yeah. Which doesn't make sense. Like, how is that possible? Can I go request oil
It's
from
like if
BP?
I hand you
Can
this
I go
candle-
get a fucking barrel
You
of
still have
oil?
to, no, because the gasoline, well, I mean, I guess if you're directly at
I just want a barrel of oil.
I think
Like,
you
fuck
can.
it. Like,
You want the
actually,
barrel of crude
give me
oil?
a barrel of crude
other
oil.
day, I was at the,
I'll figure something out to do with it.
The gas station, and like the dude that was driving the oil semi truck bought the gas from the gas station. Like he was like, I need $2,500 worth of gas, and they like opened it up. And he had a pump and everything, and then he pumped it. I thought they just dropped it off. I don't know if the dude was selling that much oil to somebody or what was going on.
Yo, it's some weird shit going on out here. They're buying gas back. They're lowering prices.
Wholesaling gas.
No, the other gas company was like, yo, they got cheap ass gas over there. Go pick it up.
Yeah. Go buy all of it.
We're about to raise the price 4 cents, and we're gonna make a killing off of these niggas.
So you got anything else about Martha Stewart you wanted to share?
No, that's pretty much it about Martha.
I got my boy here. My boy went down for some fraud, right? Talking George C. Parker.
George C. Parker.
Original person who used to be out here selling the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
He sold the Golden Gate Bridge.
He sold the Golden Gate Bridge so many times
to just people.
to dumb people who had just come here. Like Irish
Granted, this
immigrants
was like
and shit.
back in like what? Well, when was this going on? It was during like the early 1900s or the late 1800s.
He was like 1890 to like he died in 1936. So
That's some thug shit, man.
That is.
yeah, my dude amassed enough wealth in this period of time to own 4 houses, 4 mansions, like multi-million-dollar mansions.
Damn.
I'm assuming the Victorian kind.
Yeah, like the Victorian kind, all around America, just because he was selling motherfuckers the Golden Gate Bridge, and he would have all that like he would come and like fucking have like investors meetings and shit, and like have people like set up fucking chairs in front of the Golden Gate Bridge and like make it look real efficient. He's like he had like plans drawn up for like what toll roads would look like on the Golden Gate Bridge.
What?
Like he was real intricate with it. Like,
I mean, that's how you get them.
Fun fact, the word con man is actually abbreviated for confidence man, because I think it was during like the 1910s or something. There was basically a man at a French like train station who would just like get up to people, get really friendly, and then eventually like, hey, can I, check your watch? I got this, and like, hey, no, keep it, and whatever bullshit. Basically, con man just means confidence man.
Yeah,
it's just someone so full of their shit that they almost might actually believe it.
someone so full of their shit that you're definitely about to believe it.
I know people like that.
That you bought the bridge.
Yeah, I think.
Yo, I wish I was that savage, like that shrewd of a person.
Like, fuck what is fact. It's me. I think this.
Well, like you got to have like some type of like not caring about anything to just rob people, because that's all you're doing. And you're not even robbing them for like a little bit. You're like robbing them for their like life savings. Like you're looking these people in their face like, I'm about to take everything they have.
David, that happened to David.
Yeah.
$13,000. Fucking this dude was like, yeah, I'm gonna short deed the house to you, and just give me a fucking cashier's check made out to cash.
Great.
Got swindled.
That's more than a swindling.
Getting scammed has to be one of the worst things you
Damn,
can feel,
it's
man.
crazy that one of our friends got white collar crime.
Yeah, white collar crime. Right.
I mean, at least he can say, like, he wasn't tricked into buying a fucking bridge.
He definitely.
I mean, he was tricked into buying a house.
This dude also sold that house to multiple people.
I slept in that house. Too.
So he just did a small scale.
Yeah, he did the mini version of the motherfucking Golden Gate
What's your
Bridge.
man's name? Charles Parker? Or?
Charles C. Parker. I remember this dude's name too. It
Charles?
was Miles Mathis.
Miles Mathis?
Was the name of the guy who swindled.
Is this
Dave.
the actual name or is this the one he gave?
I believe this is his actual name.
No, yeah, because he
We
had
got
like,
his like ID and shit.
You can fake an ID.
It looked like a real ID.
I mean, it was pretty. legit.
If he can, that's the whole point of being
I think I
con man.
can
You
find
make
him on
everything look
Facebook
real.
They did have his Facebook
I bet he
too.
can make a Facebook too.
Yeah.
I mean, these are like.
But why would you
It
have
costs
your?
no money to fake a Facebook.
Why would you have your wife on your fake Facebook?
Was it actually his wife?
Come on, that's crazy.
That's the whole point of being a con man. You fake everything so you look real.
You're all right. Maybe Mike Mathis was a.
He could have made an entire online persona that made him look legit. Because if you think somebody's fake, most people are like, I'm going to go see if I can find you on Facebook. And they see you playing with your dog, your kids, on vacation to your wife. Oh, no, this is like too in-depth for it to be fake.
Yeah, this is a normal guy.
That's how you sell it.
Zach is a con man.
Miles Mathis is gone from Facebook.
What did I fucking say? That wasn't his fucking name.
Oh, man.
It might not have been his name.
He had a fake ID. He faked his Facebook. I bet you there's a good chance he may not even been that creative. They might have been like stock photos that you could just get online.
Damn, he would have.
Here's me and my wife paragliding.
He had a bank account and everything with that name, though.
He did. He did have a bank
He would
account. and
have
everything.
to, yeah, he would have to have everything. But I mean, you can get fake like socials and fake birth certificates and all that.
I mean, you can buy a real social and just change your name to that.
So
He may have
Miles
bought-
Mathis, whoever you are, you're actually our top white collar crime criminal.
Yes.
Fuck, nigga.
We've met you.
Yeah.
At least some of us have.
I haven't.
I haven't met him. I slept in their house though, and then all my shit got thrown on the front yard because you didn't even sell my dude the house, and I wasn't even supposed to be in there, I guess.
People showed up at this house.
And
like,
the
who the fuck
fucking
are y'all?
bitches stole my heater. Like they threw all my shit out with the shit they
Y'all were
wanted.
squatting without even knowing it?
I was squatting.
I would have been. Oh, imagine somebody just in your house. You just walk in, they just sleeping there.
I was squatting without even knowing it. Luckily, I wasn't there when they just walked in. Because I would have been like, hey, oh no, this ain't your house. And I would have been in jail. Because I ain't had no right to be there at all.
Yeah, that's
That's great.
that's the not your average hipster's personal story of fraud.
That's the throwback Thursday of the Wednesday podcast.
All right. I feel like I got a good one. I'm actually going to talk about the original Ponzi scheme by Charles Ponzi.
Charles
Oh,
Ponzi.
yeah. That's the dude, man.
So he was an Italian immigrant who came over to America around 1908. Now he went through various, shitty jobs, dishes, working in restaurants, this, that.
As everybody who starts a Ponzi scheme does.
Exactly. Eventually, he was given something, I believe, from his aunt overseas in Italy. It was called an international reply coupon. Basically, it was this coupon that you can turn in and you can get, stamps in a different country. Now, he got the idea that if he bought these IRCs in different countries and traded them for stamps that are worth more than their value, he'll literally just pocket the exact difference. He got to the point where he was literally making 400% profit within like the first 2 years of doing this. He then branched out and decided that he's going to start hiring people in different countries over Europe to do the same thing, send them to him, and then he can make money his own way. It got to the point where once he obviously had employees, air quote employees here, that he was basically having people invest. He would promise either a 50% return within 45 days or 100% return within 90 days. And people are just all for it. Now, this is when the Ponzi scheme started working. Basically, I'll give you your money back, but it was basically this guy's investment into me that I gave to you. And then he would just continue and continue. And eventually, he was caught, but he only went to jail for 14 years and basically got to live out the rest of his life to, I think it was 1936, which granted, kind of semi-young, but still. I mean, that's back in the day where people died at the ripe old age of childbirth. So
He was a
Was he actually giving these people money?
he started off with just doing actually doing it. But then it got to the point where he was just taking somebody else's money and paying the return to that person. And and then they would like reinvest, and he would end up taking that money,
Hence,
giving it to the
the
other
Ponzi
person.
scheme.
Yeah, that's
That's what it
scheme.
is.
The Ponzi scheme is just paying people with other people's money while never really investing it.
Basically, if I owe Jeremy $50, say if I ask for $60, I'm gonna keep the 10, but here's your 50 back. That's it. And then eventually I'm gonna get your money back by Antoine donating to me $70. I'm gonna keep that $10. Here's your money back. And then I just keep going till there's, not enough dumb
No more-
motherfuckers to give me money.
Until you just owe somebody money and you're like, fuck.
But that's the thing. You can also go back to the same people because, oh yeah, he gave me all my money back and like a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
It's
that's how you
perfectly
start
fine.
getting more and more and more and more and more. And then at one point you got everybody giving you money and you're like, fuck yeah. And then
Yep.
everybody
Yeah.
wants their money back, but you don't spend a little too much. I think that's what it is.
You bought that Rolls Royce.
That's the thing.
I bought a $300,000 mansion, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're having the next get together for y'all to give me some more money. Then they're like, yo, you ain't giving me no money back on my last investment.
I bought us a house.
Look at my office.
Look, no. That's he was bad at marketing, right? He should have hit him with this is our office. Some of our money had to go back into the business.
Well, he was doing it on a business that wasn't technically legal. So it's a little different than, stock markets. There's no outward facade of like, oh yeah, this is all, on the level. Already behind back doors like, this is illegal, but if you give me money, I'll get yours back and then some. So there's no, this is our office. There's him and the speakeasy going, shh, don't worry about it.
Did you get my stamp?
So, like, should it even have been illegal? You know what I'm saying? If everybody's not going down. Because they were already participating in illegal activity.
True, but it's not like he kept if he did keep records, he probably didn't keep their real names.
That's like the drug dealer, like, yo, they robbed me for my drugs. Like, what?
I mean, when was that FBI founded? Because I'm pretty sure this is like before FBI. So there's not really anybody to directly call to it. I mean, before like the stamp fraud that he was doing, like he's did like a little bit in jail forging like a cashier's check and shit.
Word.
So it's not like he hasn't been in trouble before.
I mean, he's the OG.
He's the Ponzi guy.
He is Ponzi.
of this.
He is Charles Ponzi.
I'm not doubting his OG-ness. He is the OG.
I mean, there's an entire crime named after you. That's when you know you're a master criminal. When they have to name the crime after you.
Yes.
There's no better
Yes.
word.
Yes, like honestly, for real. I fucking
That's how you know you got a hell of a disease, too.
yep, like Luke Gehrig.
I was just thinking Lou Gehrig.
You either did something really bad or you had something really bad, but they named it after you.
Yeah. They were like, damn, my nigga, that's the last thing we can do for you. Don't name this after you.
I mean, when your doctor says, yeah, nobody else has ever had this.
I'm like, oh.
Do you want it named after you?
Oh.
Yes, I do. Yes.
I'm like, I don't want to name it after me, but can I name it what I want to name it? I want to name it some funny shit.
I mean, if I have a unique disease where like it's
Fucking, it's like
horrifying.
the most horrifying disease and tastes like I want it to be called butt sex.
Yeah,
Butt sex disease.
because they have to at least have the neat disease like described either from where it's from or what it does. So either it's going to be named after me, this is Salem's disease, or it's going to be exploding blood vessels disease. I like Salem's disease. It doesn't sound as scary.
Sounds like there's a witch involved with your name. It's fucking the magic got me.
Don't fucking
like I
do
said,
it.
What's the cure for Salem disease? They hang you, motherfucker. Like, oh, shit.
They burn you at the stake.
do they really have to hang me? Well, it's either that or all your blood vessels explode. So everybody kind of chooses the hanging prior. And that's a fucked up thing. These diseases that are like uniquely named, there is no cure. There's no medication to make it not as bad. It's just,
It's just this crazy name.
your life's going to suck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I hope you have
that is.
an okay time with it. I know it's not going to be great. Just hope it's an okay time.
Right.
Well, Richard Scrushy. So that's the guy.
Scrushy?
That's my first guy. Yeah, Richard Scrushy. He founded a healthcare company in Alabama called Health South, which is pretty. I hate when people would name stuff generic names.
Health South.
Yeah, like
I mean, he was ready.
That is a horrible name. Like that's the dumbest fucking name you
He
come up
was
with.
ready to do some fucking crime. Fuck the name, yo. Fuck the name. He had bigger shit to worry about. He's like, all right, y'all. Fuck. Health South. That's what we're going with. LLC.
Look, not every like crime lord can have, the stereotypical menacing name. This is Doom Inc.
What if he did name like a hospital like the Doom?
the Doomtown.
Doomtown.
But he would actually.
Gloomy Eyes Hospital.
We have a 50% mortality rate hospital.
Oh,
A place
man.
to die.
A place to die. It's just all gray. All gray doors, all gray ceiling, all gray floor, all gray
Shit
beds.
looks like a prison.
There's fake windows on the real windows. It's a terrible place, man. But
There's fake windows on the real windows. You see in the same clouds every day. There's fake windows on the real windows.
But in 2004, he went to a head of actual federal case accused of money laundering and fraud, but he actually got acquitted of that one. But they sued him several more times and retried him in 2005, and that ended with convictions of fraud and conspiracy. And he served a 7-year prison term, and he later had to pay back $8.7 billion in damages.
Did he rob investors with the from Health South or
I don't really know.
was he just embezzling the money?
Well, it says
Embezzling hospital bills would be a motherfucker. Like, you getting paid.
fraud and conspiracy.
You
so he was
are
lying
getting
about something.
paid.
I got a guy, Martin Frankel.
Martin Frankel.
So Martin Frankel started off investment company with how my source described it as rich idiots. And his investment scheme, what he was doing was making investments based off of astrology. So the stars would lead him to the right investment for you.
So you're a Gemini, right?
Okay.
What I need you to invest in.
The price of bananas is going to be really good for you.
So throughout his endeavor of owning this company, he was arrested several times for embezzlement and
Several.
improper trading, right? So he wasn't really making it up there yet. So then after that, when that started fizzling out, he had to change his name because then he was known as the astronomy guy, you know what I'm saying? So he changed his name to David Rose, right? And when he became David Rose, that's when he just started Ponzi scheming motherfuckers. Instead of even investing their money at all, he was just fuck it, I'm Ponzi scheming y'all. And David Rose then got arrested for $200 million in Ponzi scheme money.
Damn.
That he fucked off from his investors.
He
And I was
just
like,
came
yo,
on and said, fuck it.
my dude been a scam artist since day one, and y'all just kept letting him go. He came out telling y'all the stars was about to tell you what stock that you should invest in, basically.
He made that shit up on his worst day. That was his last idea.
See, your constellation recently passed into the Sirius range, so that means I need you to invest in Coca-Cola.
See, I think he was doing more the stars were telling him. So he looked at the stars last night and
Oh, the stars were directly talking to him.
yeah,
They were an
basically,
entity.
yeah.
Word.
So
it wasn't even the stars preordained that you have to do this. It's the stars speak to me directly.
I watched the stars last night.
Can you
What they
imagine if
told
Wall
me
Street
was-
actually looked like that? Everybody's down there in this bullpen.
wizard hats on?
Hats on. And the capes, it's the stars.
They all
and
got
the
crystal
bullshit.
balls and shit.
Yeah, with crystal ball, and it's like, hold on. I think Mars is going to go in retrograde. Sell right now.
Oh no, I'm seeing BP is going to drop 2.4% today.
A messenger pigeon comes in. Shit. Okay, we got to make sure we get all of WorldCom. You got to buy all of it.
Netflix is on the rise. That's a big buy.
I mean,
the
here's the
tea
thing.
leaves said so.
Netflix is on the rise right now. Let's be real.
Yes,
No,
we all know this from the tea leaves, Zach.
Yes.
So I have
He's got a plan.
the best Ponzi scheme guy ever, and it's not the originator.
I think I know who you're talking about.
The OG Burn?
Yeah.
Bernie Dirty. Bernard Madoff.
Young Burn.
I was just about to talk about Burn on my next time.
$64.8 billion.
Hey,
This
real
man's
talk.
Ponzi scheme.
Real talk on some fucked up shit about
Actually,
Burn.
sir.
Right before we start glorifying
he's not only.
It's $65 billion.
Oh, no, well, they probably rounded up. All right, whatever. 65, 64.8, whatever. Same difference.
Look, if you're going to jail for stealing shit, it's better to round it up.
My favorite thing about this fucking guy is he combined two of the most famous people for swindling out there. He combined the Jordan Belfleur fucking
Belfleur?
Belfleur penny stock bullshit with the Ponzi scheme, and it's my dude, congratulations.
You've reached the peak of Ponzi schemes.
68 billion though.
He's the GOAT.
No, 65 billion. I mean,
He's not the GOAT.
When I was researching
He is the
him-
go to Ponzi scheme.
Because actually, that's the thing. People didn't actually know the word Ponzi scheme till
Until
2008
him,
when he got fucking caught.
Yeah,
that's when they had to explain what the fuck he was doing legally. When they say Ponzi scheme, people are like, "What the fuck's that?"
I didn't know what that was.
Exactly, exactly. People, the word's been thrown about, but no one's ever cared about it because it's a white collar crime.
Hey, how do you pronounce the company that he was a chairman of? NASDAQ?
Yeah.
It's like a
That's what it
weird
is, NASDAQ.
abbreviation.
And like, that wasn't his company. That's the stock market.
No, yeah, he was just a chairman.
Yes.
Like, not only was he in charge of the biggest Ponzi scheme literally ever, he was the executive chairman of the NASDAQ, right? So not only was he fucking like, hey, yo, give me your money. I'll give you some money back eventually. Don't worry.
Yeah, that was from his investment securities company.
And then he was like, yo, can y'all put me in charge of the stock market? Copy the guy that makes the big call. And they're like, yeah, got you, big dog. What were you about to say was fucked up about him though?
He stole so much money that his son hung himself
God.
when he got caught.
Well, here's the thing. When he got caught, his dad went
Shit, he
to
was probably living in that
like,
shit.
given 150 years of jail time for an old man. In addition, he had to pay 170 million in retribution. Billion. Thank you.
107 billion in restitution. His son was like,
There's nothing for his son. His son grew up probably with the silver spoon in his mouth since he was born.
Yeah.
And to go back to after he's nothing.
He ain't put nothing in his son's name.
Probably not.
shit, he's a criminal.
Yeah, he had to have put something in his
No,
son's
because
name.
like when you're that rich, you probably have the suspicion like if I put anything in my kid's name, he's gonna kill me and he's gonna take it.
You're right.
That was his insurance to make sure his kids weren't offing him.
My question is like, if his son had killed him, right, and his son inherited all the money, what would have happened?
I mean, only one of his sons did it. He had multiple kids.
Oh, I know. he had multiple
See, there
kids.
you go. One of the sons probably couldn't deal with being poor, aka,
The other one was already a criminal, had his
Yeah.
own Ponzi scheme going, and was like, fuck it, Dad got caught. That's what happens out here in the game, cuz.
Come to find out, Bernie Madoff's other son is actually the founder of Herbalife. That would be hilarious.
Dang, if Jamie listens to this, she gonna be hurt. She like, I just recently discovered Herbalife is kind of like a cult.
Wait, what? Does your girl?
She's like wants to do Herbalife.
No, I don't. Nah, she can't, man.
Okay,
That's crazy. That's multi-level. That's multi-level marketing, man. That's the
isn't
worst shit.
exactly illegal yet, but it should be.
Yeah, it should be. It's literally a Ponzi scheme.
It's a Ponzi
I was
scheme.
gonna say, fill me in on what the fuck this is. 'Cause I don't know what this is actually.
So
it's like candlelight, Tupperware.
okay, all those
shit.
classic things.
All
where,
those things where you got to get people to buy a whole bunch of a product, and basically, like, you learn that nobody's going to buy that product. So then your main objective is to start recruiting people. So then they buy product to start, which then you make profit off of. And then hopefully they recruit people again. So then they'll make profit, and then you'll make profit off of their profit.
Yep.
And then it just keeps going up the ladder to one rich motherfucker at the top.
The thing is, he's like hiring them. They're like getting hired without actually getting hired. Like they're not.
Yeah, that's every multi-level marketing scheme.
The company isn't paying them anything
Yeah.
to do Herbalife. They're paying to do it and paying to make money.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know. I don't know
because
much
they
about
pitch you
it
a dream,
at
bro.
first.
They
Yeah.
pitch you a dream that you could be the guy at the top, but you can't be the guy at the top because the guy at the top is the guy at the top.
He is already there.
He is collecting from everybody under him because that's the structure. He's collecting profit from every single person under him. So there's no way you're going to get on top of him. He is the business. And he's collecting money from you buying the product.
Unless you just like, he gives you the chance to Ponzi scheme his Ponzi scheme, though, if you get big enough. Like, I know people that are like rich off doing Herbalife.
That's like
that's
the rich
because
guy
you're
is like
just-
on the commercials at 5 in the morning.
I can like
I
almost
got rich really
guarantee
easy.
you.
Buy my book and you can be rich too.
Anybody you know that is rich off of Herbalife, in like 4 years, they're going to be like a single parent who works at Chipotle and fucking doesn't have a car.
Like, I worked for a lot of these places where you don't get paid, but like they'll give you like good incentive. Like, oh, you get a sale, you get this. But like, it's always the motherfucker above you is making more. Like, that's what they bribe you with, basically. You can become me.
They
You
try to
can
have,
have
like,
your
a
own
scheme.
office where you persuade all these fucking people to give you money, basically, or go out here and work for free, drive their cars around and just sell your product, basically. That's all they're doing. Like, they are giving you an opportunity to sell their product.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very true. Yeah. Because like
you're never going to get richer than them doing it.
you can't even like. You can't even.
There's no possible way to get richer than the guy that started it.
You're right, because you can't really be promoted. You just got like
You have to
You just do better than the people you trick below you. That's
exactly. And then the guy above you is always gonna be doing better than you because he's above you.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like my girl told me, even to like
So what you're saying is you gotta join
you gotta
early.
pay like $400 for a trial package.
That's why it's essentially a Ponzi scheme. It's because you have to buy so much of this bullshit. It's exactly the same thing like Cutco does. You got to buy a whole set of these stupid fucking knives that nobody's ever gonna buy from you, and you have.
They don't help you with marketing. They don't help you with shit. They just say like, buy the knives and go sell them.
Yep. You got to do demonstrations for all your friends and family, you see. We'll give you some rope. Here's some rope you cut. You got to pay for that fucking rope too.
Yeah,
you stupid motherfucker.
It comes in, they just charge you for everything.
Yep.
They try to make it feel like they're helping your life, but they're really just using you until like you're used the fuck up.
And then you're not their problem.
Yep.
Right? You've
already sold to all of your friends and family, so now goodbye.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's gave up on neutral life in your zone or your immediate reach, and we need to move on.
It's the same thing Essential Oils does. All the motherfucking companies.
I fucking hate it. Like,
Essential
I hate the
Oils,
word.
Fucking Tupperware, Cutco.
I mean, there's even other companies like the company
Herbalife.
Sidcore.
Never heard of Sidcore.
Sidcore is a company like that I worked for before, where you just sell shit in Walmart. You sell like DirecTV subscriptions and shit, but they don't pay you to go to work. Like they just pay you when you get sales.
And
then the boss is like getting paid for all the sales of the company, and he pays you off a chunk of what you're making, right? And then you can move up, like you could build a team of people once you hit a certain amount of sales in a week, and you prove that you can like get that many sales. Then they'll let you put people under you, and once you hit a certain amount of people under you, then you'll start being able to collect like profit off of their sales. And then once that team makes enough money, they'll give you your own office, which then you can recruit as many people as you want, and you make profit off of everybody's sales.
Word.
So it's like a sales Ponzi scheme.
Right. There's a lot of those too. Primerica being one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of
that's one
sales
that
Ponzi
requires
schemes.
you to have
Motor Club America too.
Yeah, Motor Club of America. Primerica requires you to have a fucking life insurance and health insurance license. So like you got to actually be like fucking kind of trained to do this fucking job. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to pay you like 15% on these policies, when like the fucking average for health and life insurance like 60-70%. Like so like entry level, and then usually your manager's making like 100%. But fucking it's crazy. Like Ponzi schemes, like
multi-level marketing is Ponzi schemes.
It is Ponzi schemes. It's just like Ponzi schemes light. Like it's like, okay, we added a product to make this legal, but like it should be illegal.
So I'm hearing two main things about multi-level marketing. One, it is obviously a dick thing to do, and it's really bad. And two, if you're going to do it, you got to be the second guy to do it. You got to be there in the beginning for it to be.
I mean,
something you're
it
okay
can work
with.
for you.
It can work for you if you know a lot of fucking people who will go out and sell for you.
You're
Like,
right.
If you're a charismatic, convincing, manipulating motherfucker,
a con man,
then
we were just talking about earlier.
multi-level marketing is where you want to be at, because you can make a lot of money fast, right? But like, if you can't reach out to anybody or anything like that, and nobody's going to listen to what the fuck you're saying, then you're literally going to be a pawn for them, and you're going to make a couple dollars, and then they're going to.
You're right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. If you joined it early, sure, you might be a pawn for like one or two people, but you're so far up the food chain where you're kind of okay with that.
No, because you
When
can
you're
drop
on the
out. You can
bottom-
still drop out if you were the second person that started. If you're not able to, because like it's literally make the sales or starve.
yes.
Like they will not care if you are eating or anything.
So like even if you were the second person to do it, like that doesn't mean like the third person that comes around is going to go under you. They're going to go under the guy that brought him in. Like,
I
the top
forgot
guy.
to tell you too about Sidcore. So it's they make it sound a little better by paying you a draw. So you get paid.
It's a draw against your commission.
Yeah, you get paid, right? But like that money is on like it's credit. So like once you do make a sale, then that money is given back to the company.
Yep.
And then like, so they don't pay you at all, but they'll give you some money. But like you make a sale, they're taking it back. And they don't care if it's your whole check that they're taking back. And then that will just leave you with zero, or they'll put you more in debt.
Yep.
That's just like a job to put yourself in debt.
It does. And then
like-
some people feel bad, like they need to pay the company back and stay working for longer just because their debt has built up to so much with the company. before the company would fire them.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That should be illegal.
That's like fucking.
That should not be an
there,
option.
there was a joke about that in fucking Malcolm in the Middle when the fucking older brother went to live in like Alaska and like the crazy lady fucking was like charging them for every little thing, like, and she'd like always be busting her book out. Like, that's like a joke.
And then I worked for ones that charge you for supplies that you needed for the job.
Damn.
Like applications, pens,
Get the
folders.
fuck out of here.
Yeah, charge you for all that. It was a supply fee.
Oh my goodness.
You had to pay it out of every check. So then if you had to get draw and then you had to pay the supply fee on top of that, it would just put you more in debt. And then they would just keep adding it up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, give me an iPad, bitch. Like, I ain't paying no fucking supply.
They gave you an iPad, but you still had to have applications too.
For what reason?
To put in if
Send me the PDF. I'll print it myself.
if people wanted it.
Send me the PDF. I'll print it myself.
No, because that'd be too simple.
They wouldn't be able to charge you a supply fee.
Too cheap, yeah.
They would give you stuff to give out. That would be part of your supply fee. It was a crazy life, man. Crazy life.
Is that getting picked?
I can hear it, yeah.
Shit, banks got the biggest Ponzi scheme. Overdraft fees.
Banks
They
are a
gonna
Ponzi
take
scheme for
money
real.
from motherfuckers that already
it's
ain't
fucked
got.
up. It's like, hey,
We know you have nothing. We're just gonna take some more just because you.
so we saw that
balance
you
it
took
back out.
$1 from us and you have no money right now.
$35.
I need $35.
Yeah, just because you're negative. Like,
How
damn.
dare you inconvenience me? This is my inconvenience
Yeah.
fee. Here you go. It's $35.
Well,
day.
a bank isn't a bank literally a Ponzi scheme because they take your money and just lend it out to other
That
people.
really, really, really does depend on the bank. Because they're
I
like,
thought that was how
especially
banks
which
work.
countries you go to, they're like, they're very minor differences, but there are some differences. But yeah, more or less. I mean, a
Yeah,
bank
that is
is
essentially a bank. What is a bank? It's a Ponzi scheme.
yes, but some banks are a lot more.
That's why they give you interest on your money, right? Because they're using it.
It's incentive
Okay,
to
so
let
like
them hold
your
on
money in
to
your
it.
checking account, they're not using that to play around with, right? You got to be your own worst critic on
Yeah,
some
you
real
got to
shit.
check yourself. Like,
I
look,
agree.
bitch. Because nobody else
It's
comes up
just
to
funny
me.
to acknowledge other people doing it. That's all.
Because like
Who
if
else
anybody
comes
else
up to you like, look, bitch? I'm gonna be like, hey, who the fuck you talking to? But when you look, bitch, yourself, you like, you right, nigga. I'm gonna look. I'm paying attention.
You have the thought,
Right,
you
if
know
anybody
you're
else
right.
comes up to you talking some kind of mess about your life, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna double down on my decision because fuck you.
I'm gonna show you what I can do without taking your advice.
Yeah. But if it's just you talking to yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, then you know you got a problem when you telling yourself like, bitch, I'll show you.
That's called schizophrenia.
Yourself is losing the battle.
You're having in-depth conversations. Y'all start arguing. The hell is wrong with you?
Who?
You run a white collar crime on yourself. Start putting money in a bank account that you don't use.
I need you to take that out today for me. I'll have it back for you tomorrow.
He's taking $20 out of my account. Hey, I got another card from Grandma. It's $20. I don't know. I think she thinks it's my birthday. I'm gonna let it just keep happening.
So anybody else got any major criminals after old Bernie Durney?
I got one.
I got a couple more.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay.
So I got another Bernie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Another Bernie?
another Bernie.
The fuck is going on here?
Bernard Ebbers, the CEO of WorldCom. So basically, they were a giant telecommunications company, and they just kept like jacking up the value of their stock. Now it was around the year 2000 when their stock started falling, and like they started falling. But they kept the persona that their stocks were perfectly fine, even though the true value was low. They kept advertising that they were still going up.
They were doing bad reporting.
They were lying.
Bad reporting.
Yes, but it like they only lasted like 2 years doing this bullshit.
That's a long time, bro.
Yeah, that's
You're right.
That's a long time of people being like, damn,
The
that's
only
a good
reason they
stuff.
were
Let me
like
buy that.
even caught is basically, I guess, classic for these cases. They just had auditors that noticed that there was a 3.8 billion, difference in what was actually there and not there.
$3.8 billion difference.
3.8 billion. Can you imagine being an auditor, seeing just even a marginal difference that has more than like 5 zeros at any point?
How the fuck this happened?
Exactly.
Hey, hold on. This can't be right. Run it back. Double
There's
check
somebody
it.
like, okay, like they fucked up here. It's like 50 cents off. Okay, this fucker doesn't know how to keep track of like $50. You bought how many paper clips worth? How much? I mean, like,
No, you didn't. Fucking golden paper clips over here.
but yeah, like
$3.5 million on Staples, huh? Okay.
But yeah, like in July of 2002, they filed bankruptcy. Bernard Ebbers, the other Bernie, got about 25 years in jail. So yeah, he should be probably getting out soonish.
Ready to do a Ponzi scheme, though. He's like, fuck that first shit,
He's
bro.
got 2 more years until he's a free man.
I just need to lie.
I just need to lie. Well, the son of Rite Aid,
The son of Rite Aid?
the
How
son
local
of
is
the
Rite
man
Aid?
who created Rite Aid.
How local is Rite Aid? Is that like a Giant Eagle thing where it's like a Cleveland area?
I'm not sure.
Because like
No, I think Rite Aid's out here, man.
I mean, like I've seen them out and about, but mostly in Cleveland. I haven't really. It's never been acknowledged to me if any other states have them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done that much traveling, so I can't really
Yeah, me either.
vouch for
Likewise.
a lot of states. So I still haven't ate an In-N-Out.
So I'm just curious, like, if it's the son of the founder of Rite Aid, right?
Martin
Like,
Grass.
how local is that to us, or is that just another rich guy?
I think Martin Grass is probably just another rich guy. It has to at least be East Coast, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Agreed.
Yeah, true.
I don't think it's like an Ohio-born thing.
Because, like, I know for a fact when I went to Colorado a few years ago to visit my family, like, there's no Huntingtons out there.
No, banks are really local, though.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean, though.
Like all the banks I see in other...
They were founded in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
All right, so that's still tri-state area.
Relatively close.
I mean, let's be honest. Pennsylvania is just the eastern part of Ohio.
Oh, yeah?
Don't claim them motherfuckers. They got
Pennsylvania's
streets called
East
like,
Ohio.
I mean, if we have a fucking West Virginia, why don't we have an East Ohio?
What?
Nah, I
don't want to
guess.
claim Pennsylvania.
Why? What's wrong with Pennsylvania?
It's not Ohio. Well,
You're
it's
right,
not
'cause it's
Cleveland.
East Ohio.
I don't even want to claim Ohio. I just like claiming this little part up here, Northeast Ohio. Like,
Yeah.
I fuck with Northeast Ohio. But like when you get down into the middle, it's not all cracked up. It's not
It is
good.
cracked.
Because it's not your
Oh, it's cracked.
territory, though. You just used to Northeast Ohio. People from Columbus probably be like, Northeast Ohio, man. That's not where it's at.
I mean, they're lying though, because I went to Columbus and I explored and I was like,
Yeah, Columbus is kind of lame when you go down.
not that much, man.
If you live in Columbus, prove us wrong.
Yeah.
They stole Barrio.
They stole it? What do you mean they stole it? We still have Barrio.
I mean, the brothers got into an argument and then the other brother left and went down to
And made a
Columbus
Barrio?
and made a Barrio with a different name, but the same everything.
What?
Right. And then the other brother up here won the lawsuit and they had to shut that one down.
really?
Yeah, me and my girl even went and ate there when we were there because I was like, yeah, we got to eat it, knock off.
It was the
Barrio.
same?
It was the same exact thing. Like the menu just had different names
This
for
is
everything.
literally like, well, yeah, fuck
they have
you
the
and
same-
your
did
restaurant.
they have the same,
Mine's gonna
like,
have
ordering
hookers and
system?
blackjack.
Yeah, right.
Mine's gonna be completely better than yours.
Yo, it had the same
I'm gonna call it
pictures,
Barrio too.
same pictures, same bowls, like the same menu style, just different names on there. Like a couple different names. Like it wasn't the Green Goddess. It was like some other shit that had to do with green.
Word. That's
yeah.
a pretentious name for a burrito. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Same deals too. Like the same deals on the margaritas, all that.
Yeah, because they got the same fucking
Do they
business
have a
plans. They
J-Mo
made
Rita?
it together.
Do they have a JMO Rita?
Yeah.
Word. They're like, fuck it.
I mean,
sorry,
it was
but,
his
like-
idea too, I guess.
Columbus really just feels like a knockoff Cleveland.
It does.
But it's a little better because they have parking meters that can take credit cards.
Oh,
It's also the fastest growing city in America.
Credit cards, and they had the scooters before us. I was riding scooters in Columbus before they had the electric scooters. Up
Yeah, I
here
don't
in
give a
Cleveland,
fuck
right?
about scooters. The meter though, that's smart.
Yeah, the
idea.
meter's legit.
Yeah, that's smart because I
When I
actually
pulled
did
up,
that
I
when
was
I was
like,
in
yo.
or Colorado too.
Why are we so broke in Cleveland that we don't have these fancy meters yet? It's because somebody's committing white collar crime. Oh, we did have a lot of white collar
We
crime.
had
here.
a ton of white
Yeah,
collar
we had-
crime.
yeah.
I don't even know how this didn't cross my
it
mind.
didn't cross my mind right until right now either, man.
Holy fuck.
We had like a
Who's
whole
the guy
year
that
of white
screwed
collar
over
crime.
like the Cleveland school district? What's his fucking
Yo,
name?
East Cleveland is in shambles
Yes.
because of white collar crime.
Yes.
Like, the whole city is basically done.
yes.
Who were all them guys, dude?
Fuck.
For those listening, we are not having a small
Jimmy
epiphany
DeMora?
here.
Jimmy DeMore is definitely one of them.
Jimmy DeMore.
Jimmy DeMore is definitely one of them.
Like, I remember
when I was
like,
growing up, he used to look like the mobster on the screen, yo.
He still
I was like,
kinda does.
He's walking down, he's like in his suit. I'm like, oh, he stole a lot of shit.
because like they have like recordings of him talking with like other people who were busted with him, and like they're like, yeah, let's bring more hookers and blow it.
Yeah,
Like they're literally recorded talking about getting more hookers and more cocaine to do.
Yo, I mean, they were out here robbing the city for real, for real.
All right. So he's
Having a great time
been
doing
convicted of 32 charges, including racketeering, bribery, conspiracy, and tax fraud.
So he's made
How long's he in?
28 years in federal prison.
How old's he now?
He will, I don't know how old he is, but he will be out in 2036.
Damn, boy.
White collar jail though. He's going to be perfectly fine in there.
I mean, they still lock you in a box.
They lock you in a big box though with your own TV, and you probably
And-
have a cell to yourself.
As a reminder, he was the Cuyahoga County Commissioner, so it wasn't just one city, it was many cities.
Like I said, Cleveland school system. I didn't just say
I
Central or
mean, he
anything
was
like
doing.
that.
It was a lot of them though. Like,
Oh yeah, there was more people involved in that than just Jimmy DeMore. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it wasn't.
But
done
he
by
was like
himself.
the ringleader of this corruption.
He was
scandal.
the face of that scheme.
Fuck, I'm so mad at myself that I didn't do more research about Jimmy DeMora before all this. Somebody I did do some research on is William Schloner. Does anybody know who William
Schloner?
Schloner?
No.
Schlondone.
Okay.
Schloner.
Well, you'll appreciate this, Zach.
Oh wait, we skipped the son of Rite Aid.
Oh, you're fucking right. We got completely sidetracked.
Yeah, we got
Put Schloner on hold.
Yeah, we
Go
got
back
to
to
put
Rite Aid.
Schloner on hold because I was like, hold on, I missed my turn, and then I remembered like, oh,
I
the
thought
son
you
of
just
Rite
gave
Aid.
somebody.
No, I just
No,
said,
we all had the epiphany about tomorrow.
Jimmy DeMora.
Yeah,
Okay,
we-
all right.
That was a collective epiphany.
I just came up with the name came off my tongue first because we were all like, yeah, that guy, and then I said it.
Right, Aid.
So the son, I tried to find if he had like any degrees in like accounting or anything to be in the position he was in. I guess he was just like,
He was the
Nepotism.
son of
Nepotism.
yeah,
Nepotism.
he just got put in that position,
Classic.
and then
Which isn't a fucking crime, but 100% should be.
he
Should be a
almost.
crime.
Classic. It's classic though for this whole thing.
Oh yeah, but he almost made the drugstore, the drug chain when it first opened, go bankrupt. Like they nearly like were finished, but then he was just overstating earnings. So like he would just say, I guess he was just marking down like they sold more of whatever they were selling, the pharmaceuticals or the produce or the products that they sell. And then he said he got caught up in a $1.6 billion scandal, and in the end, in total, and received an 8-year sentence for that.
For 1.6 billion, huh?
So to quote Antoine here, some bad reporting, huh?
Yeah, relatively. Yeah, had to be relatively early in the
How
Rite
recent
Aid.
was this?
I don't know. It couldn't have been too recent. I feel like Rite Aid has got to be pretty big. I don't know. Let's
So
see.
what was he doing? He was fucking.
He was lying.
He was just like, oh yeah, the bandages were more. We sold more bandages.
Yeah.
than
We
did.
sold 158 million packages of Band-Aids.
Yeah.
And then Band-Aid was like, whoa, bonus to you guys.
Do you think I'm lying? Go and count. I promise. It's all there. I
We
promise.
sold 3 million 2 liters of Pepsi. Whoa, bonus to you guys. You know what I'm saying? He's probably collecting hella like incentive bonuses from all these companies. Like,
Yeah.
we sold hella Doritos, motherfucker. Look at the books.
Can you imagine being?
I just don't like
The dad.
like
Hey, where
like,
are all the Doritos at though? Like, if you're saying you're selling more of these products, wouldn't it be super easy to bust you if like Dorito was like, yeah, we never even sold them that many?
Yeah. That's probably
That's
how
probably
they
how he
did.
got caught.
Yeah.
Definitely probably how he got
Like I
caught.
said,
Like, how do you not think about that?
these
before
are
you
like these crimes. They're a sweet ride, and then once it ends, and it's all bad. There's no going back from them.
Well, that.
Yo, the Ponzi schemes are like the sweet ride because they're just
Yeah.
collecting
Like I
dust.
said, it's a fucking sweet ride, and then once it ends, it ends in a blaze of fire and death and glory.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're going
yes.
to jail almost
Yes.
immediately.
No, yeah, like,
You do
but
not
like,
collect Basco. You do not collect $200.
Nah.
but like the
Even
life
if
you
it's
were
only
living,
like 5
though.
years in jail, you're gonna come out with fucking no money.
Yes.
You're talking about champagne. You should have buried a couple million.
You
Yeah.
should have buried a couple million.
You
I-
should
I'm
have
saying
buried
There's a
couple
chance that
million.
some of these guys might have. I don't know.
I bet you Bernie Durney, he buried some money.
Don't literally
I'm never
bury it.
burying money.
What?
man.
Which Bernie?
I'm never
The
burying
Madoff
money.
one.
I mean, if you vacuum seal
No, he
it
didn't
and
because
bury
he
it,
got
it's
150 years in jail.
Oh yeah, true.
He's gonna die in there.
Vacuum sealing is cool, man.
Doesn't matter if he
That's
buries
airtight.
anything.
Ain't nothing
You're
getting
right.
in there.
He had his kid dig it up, and now he's got money on his books. Good, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. If anything, that's probably where that buried $1 million went. It went to his kid that found it in his backyard.
Yo, I wouldn't even bury it in like that. I would like illegally buy some gold or something and like bury that shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Is
that's
that
all
cash?
they can do.
I'd buy like ivory or something crazy, like
The black market.
No.
Cash
Ivory's
takes
not
up
a
too
good
much
one.
spot or space.
Ivory's expensive, but it is illegal to even have.
True.
Like, if you can't prove you got it through, like, the grandfather clause of, like, oh, yeah, my, grandpa or great-great-grandfather from, like, 1870 shot the elephant himself, it will be confiscated, and I'm pretty sure there will be some fine associated with it. Or if you're proven to actually have bought ivory,
you're also just an asshole if you buy ivory for
Yeah,
real.
there's that. There is that, too.
If it's buried, they could just be like, that ain't mine if they find it. If they dig it up, it's like, that shit ain't mine.
That's a fossil, isn't it?
Y'all just found
Here's
that
also
shit
the
for
thing.
first
You
time.
shouldn't bury ivory because elephant tusks, it's literally their teeth. So if you put it in the ground, eventually it's going to start decomposing.
Decaying, yeah.
If it's down there too long, it will be gone.
Dust.
Not even dust. The plants, the bugs, everything are just going to like eat holes all through it.
Vacuum seal it.
Vacuum.
Antoine, vacuum sealing is not the answer to everything.
It's the answer to burying things.
Not if it was connected to a living being
Look,
that would keep
when you show me someone's vacuum sealed their fucking grandma, I'll believe you. But vacuum sealing is not the
Vacuum
It's not
seal the
gonna stop
motherfucker.
decomposition.
We're going to fucking unbury him in 20 days.
Although it probably would stop decomposition for real.
No, it won't.
It might delay
There's
it.
no.
It'll
nothing-
definitely delay it. Like,
Yeah, it's
for
gonna
sure.
delay it.
Actually, what will happen is all the gas will start building up in there if it's been sealed properly, and that'll start forcing
And it'll cause
whatever-
it to pop. Mm-hmm. Word.
Basically,
Word.
you're
the
like-
grossest bomb ever.
Exactly. So no, it's a horrible idea. Do not vacuum seal the dead. At least it's not good for long-term use.
Post-apocalyptic idea. Number 388. Vacuum seal the dead and use them as a ticking time bomb.
I forget when it was, but there was
A long ass ticking time.
I think it was like in the 90s. A body was wrapped up in like cellophane and shit, but basically it was like a hit. They took him to the ocean, they dumped it in the water, but the body floated. And because of the heat of the sun there, it like hardened the plastic. So it's this weird like mush filled cocoon that you can see through.
Lovely.
Exactly. That's how I realized you shouldn't cellophane the dead.
Word.
That'd actually be kind of cool.
Do you have somebody that you're going to say no?
I got a team.
A
Get
team.
A team?
A team.
The Ponzi team.
John and Timothy Rodriguez.
Oh, that's a duo. That's a
Team
duo.
corruption.
That's a duo.
They
man.
owned, which was once very popular here, Adelphia.
Can't say I'm familiar with that.
Me either.
Adelphia Cable Company.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It sounded familiar.
Yeah, okay.
That was the only time we had cable,
That
man.
little push,
That was
the
the only time.
little silver box. I remember it.
Yeah, Adelphia.
Yeah.
They had so they owned Adelphia. They filed bankruptcy at the time, which Adelphia was the 5th largest cable company in the U.S. And they lied about $3.6 billion in revenue. And kept that.
Wow.
And then they were caught, obviously.
Yeah, that's fucking good. That's a lot of revenue to lie about.
But the cool thing is they were like World War II veterans. Like 2 old dudes that basically were just like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just about to keep this.
Word.
We built this company. You know what I'm saying? And then they both got sentenced to some pretty lengthy time. Timothy earned a 20-year sentence there, and John fell a little bit better with a 15-year sentence. You know what I'm saying? They were both
So he
pretty.
told on his brother.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They were both pretty fucking old, though. I just put them on here basically because they owned Adelphia. And
You
it's a little nostalgic.
You
for
want
me,
to
you know
shout
what I'm saying?
out Adelphia.
And I thought it was cool that they were World War II vets. You know, they weren't like all these spoon-fed fucking already rich
That's
kids.
pretty lit.
Well,
I don't
here's the
mind that
thing,
one
though.
right
In
there.
World War, like, were they American soldiers or what were they? Because depending on
I don't know.
where they're from, like, quite
They
a
could
few
have been
wealthy
Nazis.
men. I mean, they could have been Nazis. You're right, but still, a lot of rich people in both World War I and World War II actually joined the effort. It wasn't just, completely bottom of the barrel. There was some that's still the early part of the century where like that system or that idea of like honor was still important to like the family name or whatever. So
I'm rich, Papa, but I will go fight the war.
I mean, exactly. That was exactly it. And that would have been even more expected for your son to go, at least for a son to go to like a wealthy family, because I mean, what else are they fucking doing? Obviously, they're doing nothing with their life because their father pays for everything.
I mean, that would probably be me if I was a rich person. I would have probably just went to war.
What?
Yeah,
why the fuck would you do that?
Because what the fuck? Fuck it.
I probably would not have went to war.
Like, what else am I gonna do, bro?
You're gonna go to what, Iraq, my dude? Like,
I'm already rich. I might as well just go do some crazy shit. How else am I gonna get some crazy experience in my life to talk about?
just
to
go
Joe
do it because you're
Exotics.
rich.
Are you talking about joining the army like it's some like new adrenaline camp for you to join?
No,
Pretty much, yeah.
Real life Antoine, if he was rich, he would have like joined ISIS or some crazy shit. Like he wouldn't even have joined the American
I'm about to fund
military.
these motherfuckers. Y'all want guns? I got guns.
I would not have joined
Honestly,
ISIS,
I can almost see it like he's like halfway through like, wait, we're bombing who?
Oh fuck!
We're not the good guys?
I thought we were the good guys. Your Facebook marketing really got me.
Like you said all these positive things. I really believe we
I
can't
thought
fight
infidels were
orphanages.
just bad people.
Are you trying to say if I joined the American army that I am a good guy at that point?
Not entirely either.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
From that person's
So they-
perspective.
Just want to clarify.
Let's clarify. There's really no good person in war. Okay.
You're right, but if I was rich and my life was just full of like happiness and joy, I would be like, fuck it, time to go experience.
Time to go get fucking traumatized.
That is the most
bullshit
backwards
I've ever.
shit ever.
Like I can't imagine. I
Trauma
feel
builds
so
character.
complete with my life.
You wouldn't even
That's fucking wrong. Let's go fuck myself up.
You would be some fucking pretentious asshole. Yeah, I went to the army because I needed some excitement in my life.
I needed some trauma, man.
You
I
might
need
as well
to
just
build.
drive to your local.
How else are you gonna build character as a spoon-fed kid?
Go live in
Go
the
on a
hood.
hike.
Yeah, go to the
Climb
hood.
Mount
Go live in the
Everest.
hood with no money for a bit, and fucking
Discover a lost ruin or something like that.
Right, do something wrong.
Like
Yeah.
that's why
That's what
like,
I'm gonna do when I get out. You know what I'm
Science
saying?
exists right now because there are literally rich men with the same mindset of like, I'm quite bored being in my mansion with all my servants. I'm gonna go to the middle of India and see what's gonna try to kill me. And that's why we have discovered world. The only reason people was to fucking South
air
America.
quotes around that audience.
Yes, because there was already non-white people in this part of the discovered world. So I can't say it's been completely discovered.
Well, I couldn't let the people think that you thought that there wasn't people there.
Thank you. Thank you for catching me.
So
Do you trust me?
I'm gonna wrap up this with two guys.
Two guys.
Two separate incidents. One happened as recently as 2019.
19.
2019.
Oh, I also seen the Rite Aid dude. I just looked. It said the article was from 2020, but I don't know how recent it was. It didn't say.
Word.
Just a little flashback.
But back to my boy William Shaloner.
Shalom.
Shalom down.
He, like I was starting to say,
Dude, why did you have to do that?
what?
You had to go back again. You already came back. You said back, and then you're like, as I started.
Well, as I started to say before when you were like, the Rite Aid dude, Zach, you will appreciate this fact more than anybody probably even listening to the podcast.
I'm listening.
William Shaloner's arch nemesis
Arch nemesis. I like that. I'm digging what's going down.
is Isaac fucking Newton.
Go on.
Is that your arch nemesis?
Nemesis?
No, it's
Done.
Sir fucking Isaac Newton, the man that explained how fucking gravity works.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Arch nemesis.
he's better known for being caught by Isaac than what he was actually doing. But what William Shaloner was doing was he was the son of a Warwickshire weaver, and pretty much he just got the equipment to counterfeit grots, an ancient silver-based coin valued at 4 old pence. And the counterfeit version was then like like he was just making counterfeit money and
mass distributing it
and then putting it into the economy.
Into the circulation.
Yes. So he was hiring middlemen. People were getting hung in his name and shit. Like nobody ever ratted on him though. Like
hell no, because he was the plug.
yes, but like
So
like,
how did
He was
Isaac Newton
Pablo
fucking catch
Escobar
him?
of the time.
he was like the
He was creating money.
he was creating it.
Yes.
He was literally creating. They're like,
He was mixing it with a little bit of silver and like making it mainly iron and being like, all right, this is a silver piece. Here you go.
yo,
Basically, it's a silver-coated iron coin is what he was essentially distributing.
Your hut would have been burned the fuck down if you snitched, bro. Flat out. Everybody's hut that had your last name was burned down. Even if y'all just happen to have the last name, hut burned. You can't kill the counterfeiter.
The punishments for having counterfeit coins back then were hanging and burning at the stake.
Damn.
Ooh, I'm picking hanging.
By the way,
Hang me, baby.
By the way, so once you're done, I got a interesting form of, I can't call it white collar, but an interesting form of fraud that used to happen in the medieval period.
Okay, word. So how William Shaloner ended up getting caught was literally Isaac Newton, with the back half of his life, started working for the bank, right? His whole job at that time was just to find counterfeit money and like where it was coming from. And
He was the FBI.
yeah, Isaac Newton was the
accountant.
FBI.
Isaac
Yes.
Newton was the FBI.
So he was fucking, he sat down, he did the math, he fucking figured out where all these like counterfeit fake coins were coming from, the like exact area that they were coming
what is
from.
the equation? Like, what
Remember,
equation did he come
Isaac
up with?
Newton invented calculus.
I understand, but like, he's out here coming up. This is a more impressive equation to me because
This
he's
man
coming up
probably
with
did all this
an
in his
equation
head.
how to track how money is being spent.
He essentially created an algorithm that like a computer would use.
That's what I'm
and
saying,
fucking
like,
used it
if-
himself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
so
That is.
he was able to find exactly where the majority of this fucking fake currency was like circulating from, and fucking they ended up just like going like pretty much door to door and finding the fucking counterfeit press and being like, oh, you
this
fucked,
is
buddy.
Like, there's no need for a warrant at this period of life.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
it was simply, do you have, illegal items in here? We'll find out ourselves. Get the fuck out the way.
Yes. Yeah. Some soldiers from the bank showed up at your house and were like, hey, buddy, do you have a counterfeit press back there? No? Cool. Let's check.
So what's under that tarp in the back over there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a boat. You're building a boat in your house?
Why do you have so much iron? You're not a blacksmith.
I'm the plug, bitch.
And then my second one, because I'll let you go through your
Stay
last
periodic here.
crime. And then I was just gonna wrap it up after this because we're at an hour and 50 minutes already.
There was before like paper currency and especially like forging like coins and everything happened. There was a bigger form of fraud that was more prevalent throughout history, dating from the Romans to at least when like the first Queen Elizabeth was around, which was bread fraud.
Bread fraud.
Bread fraud. Fraud by bakers for giving out like bread was like almost.
Oh, this is where the baker's dozen comes from, right?
It's exactly where the baker's dozen comes from. So basically, bakers were kind of like they had to give out bread. It's not like you went to the baker, you bought a pie. The baker was paid by the king or the governor or the baron or whoever land they live on to bake bread and to give it to everybody else so they can eat.
So like a milkman, but for bread.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's basically because like to be a serf is basically I have to work this land. Like when you were a serf, by the way, you're not even allowed to leave this little.
That is
Not
your
even
life.
acre. You have to live your entire fucking life on here unless there's like a holiday or you have like a pass or something like you
Fun
literally
fact,
had
they actually had way more off time than modern people do.
yes, but when you can only
Makes
like
sense.
live
Religious
like
holidays and stuff like that.
But we can like travel
Unlike-
around our acre.
yeah, but that's it. It's a fucking acre that you have to till and make sure doesn't get like eaten by random animals or anything like that. Like that's your whole life though. Sure, you have time off, but your time off's literally fucking watching a radish grow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what everybody's time off was, though, back then. There wasn't much to do.
They probably just worked on their time off.
I
They were
mean,
bored as fuck.
literally,
Exactly.
when I take time off, I go to a place where I like can't really do anything.
Yes, but you're doing it to relax. But when you see the same thing that you've been working on all the time, it's a little different. But moving on. So basically, bread would be distributed for those in, what are allotted amounts. Now, bakers would do things as much as putting literally rocks inside hollowed out bread, so it meets the correct weight to be distributed. Or they would use bad
How were people not
yeast.
catching them with the rocks in the middle of the bread?
Look, I thought they would
just be like, yo, there's 12 in here. And there wasn't.
Oh, no, and that's also another thing. It would be okay, here's 12, but no one really had a cohesive amount of, is this the correct 12, or did you just take one piece of bread and crumble it into 12 pieces? You know what I mean? Instead of distributing the proper rations, they were taking one ration, splitting up into multiple, and then that's the multiple rations.
There's no quality control.
They're literally, yeah, exactly.
They were cutting the bread.
Yeah.
They were cutting the bread.
They were also using expired flour and yeast and everything. So people were also dying from
Yes.
bad bread that was literally poisoning them. And you're right. This is where Baker's dozen came from, because the penalty for bread fraud, and I'm not kidding, it's literally called bread fraud. There's nothing clever to go with it, was hanging. You were killed if you gave or withheld bread.
I mean, back in the day, they just killed motherfuckers.
You're right. Because it's the easiest way.
Don't fuck up or I will kill you. And then you fuck up and they kill you.
Baker dozens exist, because they would give out that 12 and then they give just another little bit out. Not a lot, but just to help guarantee they're giving out the correct portion of rations. Otherwise, they're literally going to be beheaded.
For bread fraud.
Yo, I'm not going to lie, yo. I would follow a lot more rules if they was killing motherfuckers for breaking the law.
You're right, but if you got framed for bread fraud, you just got
I would never speed.
beheaded for someone taking a little
I
bit.
definitely would never speed.
I would never speed. I would never do anything illegal on the road if I died for it. Which, speeding, you could die for.
If there were more fucking laws that I didn't agree with that resulted in my death, I would be more likely to start a revolution. Because there'd also be hella other people like every motherfucker that smokes weed. If smoking weed was so illegal, that it would literally get you put to death. All the motherfuckers are gonna get together.
There would have to be
the
levels
junkie
to it,
revolution.
man.
Yes, it would be like a junkie revolution, real shit.
In the history books, that'd be a great chapter.
Yeah.
So all the drug addicts got angry, right? They met up at the biggest crack house, formed a revolution, stole a whole bunch of tools, made some little army vans, drove them up to the White House, and went the fuck in.
All the meanwhile.
And that
on
is how
crack.
America ended. Was in the great opioid epidemic of 2045. Oh, you mean everybody was addicted to opium? No, opioids? No, the addicts got really angry and destroyed America.
Yeah.
And just so happened to be at least 1/3 of America was addicts at that time.
Sounds about like a correct number.
Yeah.
1/3?
I'd believe it.
I think that's including alcohol.
Yeah.
1/3 of America is definitely some type of
If we're
addict.
including alcohol, it might be more than 1/3. What the fuck?
You include caffeine too?
Dude, everyone.
You can't include caffeine. No, caffeine's never been outlawed.
It's a drug, but
You can overdose on caffeine.
yeah, but you really have to fucking try.
Yo, you drink 5 bangs, I bet you fucking die.
You will
I bet you die.
Let's be honest,
I bet you go to the fucking
caffeine in
hospital.
a bang, okay?
Yo.
That's not just caffeine in there that's making you go.
I mean, that's a lot of caffeine. Okay, so if you take the 300 milligrams of caffeine from 5 bangs in fucking powder form, snort it, you're dead. Bet.
So
That's why they outlawed caffeine powder.
I have the final white collar crime criminal for this podcast.
Who'd it be? Who
Our
who'd it be?
president, Donald J. Trump, had
That
his,
initials J.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's Donald J. Trump.
I've only ever heard him as Donald Trump.
His middle name's probably like Jeffrey or something.
It's probably just Jay.
His charity, which was based around his book, The Art of the Deal. I did not know that. Okay, so what the charity was he was taking profits from the book, The Art of the Deal, and giving them into charities. right?
Okay, yeah, I've heard of this.
He was embezzling the money.
Yeah, he was taking the profits from that.
Yes. So he is no longer allowed to run charities anymore. The president of the United States is banned from running charities in New York City, and he is paying them back. He has to pay $2 million to 8 different charities,
which he's yet to pay, right?
I believe he's yet to pay it. I didn't look that far into it.
I mean, his method for like he's blown off multiple contracting companies for like the hotels and shit that they build for him by going bankrupt. I don't have any money, so I can't pay you. So go away. And then somehow he gets more money again, and then he repeats.
Well, no, because he has money spread out all over the place. So like he just bankrupts one little shell company. He's like, that one has no money. And then he has more companies where he just pulls more money out.
We can't even guarantee these places actually have that amount. It's just them saying they have that amount and saying it's been transferred on paper. That's where some of the fraud comes from. I mean, that's basically what WorldCom was doing. They were lying about how much they were worth and how much they had when they were literally bleeding out of every fucking orifice of money.
So since we didn't do a top 10 game, I suggest we elect one person to be the top
con man
of Not Your Average Hipsters. Everybody gets one nomination, and then we vote. Well, wait.
One nomination, then we vote, or whoever gets the most nominations. If there's a unanimous nomination, then that's the winner.
All right. So what we'll do?
I mean, not unanimous.
What we'll do is we'll say a name, and then if somebody else seconds it, they're actually a fucking candidate for being the best con person. And then if everybody seconds it, they automatically win. And if nobody automatically wins, we just do a vote with whoever gets with the ones who have been seconded.
Okay.
Zach, would you like to start with your nomination?
Just because it's literally fucking named after him, Charles Ponzi.
Seconded.
I think I'm gonna go with
He didn't even do as well as like.
We're not arguing during this point.
I think
it's been seconded. It's not seconded by everybody. It's not an automatic win.
I say Bernie Madoff. I think he's the GOAT.
Seconded.
You can second more than one?
Oh yeah, you can second anybody.
Oh shit! I would have seconded that one. Yeah, I don't know what we were doing.
Well, hold on.
You did it too. Like that's why I was like, what the fuck? How's he automatically like?
Yeah,
that's too fast. You didn't
okay, how about this? Let's get a top 3.
Well. Okay, just continue.
I mean, no, that's
you did. No, you guys missed your opportunity to both second him.
Okay.
So he does not automatically win.
Okay.
Are you two seconding him?
No, because I don't want anybody to automatically win right now.
Antoine.
Martin Frankel, the astronomy name changing $200 million embezzlement guy.
He's got a unique method, but I'm not.
We're not arguing it right now, but all I'm saying is astronomy con man.
Okay.
Fucking seconded.
Nah, I'm cool on that one. I don't know.
Hold up.
Martha Stewart. She's
seconded.
She's the realist. Like
I just like Martha Stewart. You know what I'm saying? Martha Stewart said like an OG at this point.
All right. I'm just gonna pause it while we vote the rest of this out. We're gonna be voting on sticky notes again. So after super secret voting, we'd have our results. Our top 3 people.
Dun, dun, dun.
In third place is Martha Stewart.
Young Martha.
Third best con artist of all time. Congratulations, Martha. This is the second time you made it onto our show in recent weeks.
Young Martha. Hey, shout out to Martha. And if you hear this, Martha, come on the show, man. Be a guest.
Martha Stewart for president 2020.
I don't know about all that.
So we... never mind.
Second. And tied for second is Charles Ponzi and Martin Frankel.
Charles and Martin. 2 very different parts of the spectrum there.
Yes.
I mean, you could almost say it's literally the beginning of the scheme to the end of the scheme.
Yeah.
They are both of the spectrums.
And then our top guy, our man, the man of the hour, Bernie Durney Madoff.
Darn. He deserves to win.
He deserves to win. He does deserve to win. He got the most money. And in
House
white collar
committed.
crime, that's what it all matters.
Yeah, that's what it comes down. And he got the most years though.
That's why I had to be a little nitpicky, because like if you're gonna like go to jail forever for stealing a certain amount of money, might as well make it the biggest possible fucking number.
Might as well make it 65 billion. And with that, Bernie, we salute you and your 125 years in federal prison.
150.
And that's Now Championship